In the manual of this camera, there's no mention of Wi-Fi. The word Wi-Fi appears only on the box, so I think this camera cannot connect to Wi-Fi, only through a SIM card. Okay, so let's insert the SIM card, close the antennas. You can rotate this head, and on the bottom you have this little door. Take a screwdriver and remove those screws. Now this comes off. Nothing is holding it. You can even lose it. There's a rubber seal here. And one is the SIM card slot and one is the memory card slot, micro SD. And that has to be a reset button. It's clicking. There's a motor, 5 volts DC. There's the speaker on the back. Use the smaller one. There's a cut on it here. The manual says that the lower one is the micro SD, so I have to use the top one, which is even smaller, that one. So I have to break it off even more, like so. Now that has to be inserted. Hope it won't fall inside. It clicked. So that should be good. It's even scratched. With the metal connection down towards the speakers. Now let's connect the battery. This 4-pin connector. Take care at this cut when you insert it here. There's that notch. So on the battery pack, pull out this, and there you have the switch. Slide it up, and it doesn't do anything. Off, on, nothing. Let's use a battery bank. Plug it in here. USB-C. Now there is a light. Camera still not doing anything. Power off. LED is flashing. Power it on. We have an LED, a red one. I already started it once, then it rotated, and the second time it did not rotate it at all. Only that red LED is constantly on. Use the app V380. I already made an account. Device offline. Wi-Fi. Now it's connecting, and device offline. Device offline. The USB cable of the charger, I'm using a battery pack, cannot be connected to this USB-C. The plug is too large. This is larger than this side. Now let's try to push the reset button for many seconds.
Reset completed.
Now finally it's moving. Now let's try to add it again. On the device page, add the device. Scan the QR code which is here on the side. Add device, whatever you want, home. Save device QR code. If the red indicator light of the device is solid or flashing, it means that the device cannot connect to the network. And it is solid, it cannot connect to the network. I inserted the SIM card of my smartphone, and now the LED is not red but orange or yellow. Oops, now it's red, yellow. Deleted it from the app. Let's try to add it again. Now it's using only Wi-Fi. Add the device. Finish. Don't save it anymore. Now we have something. Set a password. Confirm it. Voila! Found a new version. Update, whatever, but it's working. There's my hand in front of the camera. So I inserted the SIM card of my smartphone. Now my smartphone doesn't have a SIM card. And when it's working, it has a yellow or orange LED there. There is a small delay. I can feel some heat. Are these LEDs heating? I can feel some heat. Update now.
Firmware update begins.
Firmware update. So this uses Wi-Fi and this uses my phone's 4G, it's even 5G SIM card. I mean the phone can use 5G. This I think uses only 4G. We have a speaker sound. Now the sound went away.
Updating. Please do not turn off the camera.
Turn off the camera. What? Updating the firmware and it's asking me to turn off the camera?
Firmware update completed.
Firmware update completed. I did not turn it off. We have a red LED. Power off the camera. Power it back on. Red LED. Yellow LED. The camera is here. We have an image. And it's working again. Device alarm. So this camera I think cannot use Wi-Fi, only the 4G network. Humanoid detection alarm. I'm the humanoid. I'm in front of the camera. Now it doesn't have a micro SD card in it. I'm there. It has a delay. Record. That should record it maybe on the phone. One, two, three. Yes, that's sending my voice from the phone to the camera and it was echoing. 1, 2. And release it. Snapshot. That should create a photo. More. Inversion. Yes, now it's rotated. Light control. Oopsie. White light. Off. Where did it go? So camera. More. Preset positions. I should not use back. Yes, I should use the X. Motion track. More. Image settings. Color. Black and white. No LEDs turned on. Come on, humanoid. Let's leave it to auto. Down. PTZ calibration. It starts rotating. SD HD. Now it has even more delay. Let's set it back to SD. 4 cameras, 1 camera, full screen. It has a date, battery, decibel. That's it. Bye bye. Now I have to put back the SIM card from the camera into my phone and buy a SIM card with internet access for this one. Now the infrared LEDs turned on. They seem pink on the camera, but in reality they are red. They are visible with my own eye also. So this camera cannot connect to Wi-Fi, only to 4G network. Now let's reinsert its original SIM card. See if it does something. And it's red, so with its own SIM card it's not connecting. Connection failed. So its own card is useless, at least in my area in Romania. 4G. Your SIM card does not belong to this platform and does not support query and recharge services. Settings, device offline. So you cannot modify anything on it unless you are connected to its 4G network. So you have to restart it after you replace the SIM card. Now it's yellow. Restart the application also. Now it's working. Voila. If the SIM card is not working, you cannot modify the camera settings either. And this is the base where the batteries are. Or exactly, this was removed from here using those 4 screws. And this is what's inside. Here's the on-off switch and USB-C charging. And this one looks to be sealed. No screws anywhere. Nothing. And those push button like looking things are for disconnecting the battery, which is held by this cut. Which way was it? This way or that way? So that's the battery pack of this camera. Around 3 cells maybe. So that opens it. Push this under and put back the 4 screws. No information anywhere. By the way, power comes from here. And this connector is a male one. It has pins. If you insert a screwdriver there, you can make a short circuit. Not a wise idea. It should have a female plug to be protected. This camera doesn't have Wi-Fi connection, only 4G connection. Yet it has 2 antennas. Of course, one of them is useless. It's not connected to anything, as you can see. The other one has a wire in it. So one antenna is totally useless. More exactly, if it's hanging down, then the one on the left side is useless. These cameras are pretty big, and of course there's a lot of unused space inside. Here you can see a small motor and a large gear, plastic gear. This cap is plastic, the body is plastic. I don't see any metal here. There is a rubber seal here. DC 5 volts. It has 4 screws here in the head. The lower ones are less accessible. From the back of the lens you can access them, and the screws are longer. And here's the camera, and the question is it usable through the USB-C plug, so without its own battery? Plug in that USB-C there and the other end to a small battery pack. And yes, it is working from a small battery pack using 5 volts DC. Of course it cannot connect because the SIM card is not yet in.